So Ron DeSantis says that he would consider removing Joe Biden from the ballot down in Florida. There's only one problem with that. Joe Biden has not violated the Constitution. Joe Biden has not done anything that would warrant being removed from the ballot. Joe Biden has not violated the 14th Amendment. Joe Biden didn't take part in an insurrection. He didn't try to overturn an election that he knew he lost. He didn't try to overthrow democracy. He isn't saying he wants to be the dictator for a day. He's not talking about negotiating a third term. He doesn't have 4 indictments and 91 charges. He's not been found liable of sexual abuse. He's not been found guilty of fraud. All these smoking guns and all this evidence that the Republican Party claims they have, they've yet to prove it and yet to bring it to the table. So there's no grounds to remove Joe Biden from the ballot. But Ron DeSantis says there is if you think about it, because you could make the argument, this is what he says, you could make the argument that all the immigrants coming across the border, that's an invasion and that's an insurrection. Yeah, you could make that argument, and you would look like an idiot doing so. You would especially look like an idiot doing so considering the fact that you have said out loud that you're not going to fix the border problem because you don't want to help with Joe Biden's approval rating. They're afraid that if they help out with the border, that might help Joe Biden's approval rating. They don't want to do that. So this big catastrophe that they say is happening at the border, that's this big threat to all of our lives, it's going to have to be put on hold for right now because heaven forbid they let Joe Biden's approval ratings go up. So yeah, Ron DeSantis can say that in a way, I guess, to suck up to Donald Trump, because that's really all he's accomplished at the end of the day, because he doesn't have a leg to stand on. There's no grounds for that argument. But Ron DeSantis proved me wrong on one thing. This is something I will admit to being dead wrong about. I used to think years ago that if someone ever came along who was smarter than Donald Trump and who understood how government worked better than Donald Trump, I thought, man, if somebody like that ever came along and they got the reins from Donald Trump and they took over MAGA, man, that would really be dangerous. That would really be something. And I saw Ron DeSantis doing his 1930s Germany impression down in Florida, and I thought, oh man, damn, look at this guy. Don't count him out, man. He's extreme. They'll latch right onto him. They'll buy him hook, line, and sinker. I was wrong about that because, no, they will not go against their leader. And once I got to thinking about it, every documentary I've ever watched on a cult, I've never saw one scenario where there was a cult founded and then a new leader came in and just overtook it. Jim Jones remained it till the last breath went out of over 900 victims. He remained their guy. And there's still people to this day who believes what Jim Jones had to say. There's still people in Waco, Texas that believes in everything David Koresh ever told them. They didn't want an alternative. They didn't want a new guy, and neither does MAGA. And all Ron DeSantis did was go out there and make a blithering idiot out of himself on the national stage, to the point that I was like, damn, he has really blown it. I thought he might have a chance at this, but yeah, he went down quicker than anything. He went down quicker than a Mike Tyson opponent in the 80s, And the thing about it is that I'll never understand, and I don't know why this is so hard for people on the right side of the aisle to grasp, but when Democrats come to the table, they bring evidence and they bring receipts, and they show you, here's what we have. And that's why that we have the 4 indictments and the 91 charges, is because they did their homework, they done their research, they brought it all together. Here's the evidence, here's the receipts. Now let's take a look at this. Republicans bring a bunch of claims to the table and then get mad when we say to them, well, a claim isn't evidence. That doesn't count as evidence. They get upset about that. But let's just break this down on the simplest level we possibly could, okay? Let's say, just for shits and giggles here, that you went to a Walmart and you bought a new bicycle, okay? Let's just say you went to Walmart and you bought a new bicycle. Let's say when you got home, something was wrong with the bicycle, and you decided to take it back to Walmart. So you went back, you took the bicycle with you. You had the receipt where you purchased the bicycle, the day that you did it, the time that you did it, the cashier that checked you out. It's all right there on that little piece of paper. You've got it. You've got the bike. You walk up and you say to them, hey, I bought this bike here, and when I got it home, I realized that there was something wrong with it and it won't ride the way I want it to. I'd like to return it and I'd like my money back. They're going to look at you, they're going to look at the bike, they're going to look at the receipt, and they're going to go, okay, give this man or woman another bike. That's how it works. But now imagine if you walked up to that same service desk and you said, yeah, I bought a bike over here and I want my $200 back. Well, sir, do you have the bike with you? No, I don't have it. Now, I've heard about it though. A friend of mine said he's seen it, but I don't have it with me at the moment, but now it's coming. I do have a friend that's seen it. Well, do you have a receipt? Can you prove to us that you bought the bike? Well, no, but now you better give me $200. You better give it to me right now. If that sounds totally ridiculous to you, it's because it is. And that's how Republicans look when they bring all these smoking guns and all these claims to the table and they say, look, I can't count the times in a day that someone will say to me, Brando, just look at our evidence. Just look at what we've got. We're going to send you this video and we're going to show you you're crazy, man. You're not looking at the evidence. And then they send me a video of some dude sitting in a chair going, yeah, I got the evidence, and he never shows it. He never produces it. He never brings the receipts. He never proves he bought the bicycle. And I'm going, okay, you claimed that Donald Trump was God Almighty, and you went to DonaldTrumpisGodAlmighty.com and came back with the evidence. That's not it. If I say to you, prove to me that Spider-Man really did exist, you don't get to bring the Spider-Man comic as your evidence. But that's the world that they live in. They think they can just make these claims, well, take him off the ballot. Well, it don't work that way. And there's a whole lot of people scratching their heads saying, well, see there, they won't take Biden off the ballot. Why won't they take Biden off the ballot? Well, first of all, let's start right here. If you're saying that, if you're sitting there going, why won't they take Biden off the ballot? Then you're new here. You're new to the political discussion. You're new to how government works. It don't work that way. That's not how it works. But again, I can't believe no one ever watched a Perry Mason episode or a Matlock episode. I used to watch those all the time. I'd be home from school. My mama would watch me. Yeah, I'd sit around and watch, Perry Mason and Matlock, and it made sense to me. Those was just TV shows. But here we are in the real world. No evidence, just a bunch of smoking guns that's coming if we'll just wait for it. That don't count as evidence. So Ron DeSantis can try all day long, or he can say all day long. Actually, at the end of the day, he knows he can't do it. He's just saying that to try to appeal to whatever's left. But it would probably be in his best interest to keep Trump off the ballot, because that's who's kicking his ass. What's he down, 50-some points? I lost count. Guy ain't got a snowball shot in hell. So all he's doing is just appealing to the worst and showing his stupidity when he makes a claim like that.